Welcome to the Average Nobody's Podcast, the ultimate home for wrestling enthusiasts, beer drinkers, movie quoters, and pop culture connoisseurs. Here are your hosts, Matt and Ryan.
Hello, everybody. What's going on? Matt here.
Ryan also here, checking in.
With the Average Nobody's Podcast. I feel like last week was kind of an off week for news and stuff. Like, we had some stuff to talk about, but this week is...
struggling for content.
This week was not... It wasn't hard to get stuff to talk about.
There's a lot going on the eve of Vin Diesel's birthday, a.k.a. Cinco de Mayo. I just link it together in my mind. You know, you have Coronas.
Yeah, we're drinking Coronas right now.
I'll wear a muscle shirt tomorrow. Everyone will be horrified.
Matt, you can't wear this to work.
You're fired. It's over.
All right, well, hold on. So, since last week, I've had some interesting run-ins with people in the real world, which is... underrated. One of the best things about going out into the world and
just simple things,
just very simple things. Like for these two stories, one at CVS, one at Dunkin' Donuts. Just like interacting with people that you don't normally interact with, and what plane of existence they're on compared to you. It's insane. So I was at CVS and I'm picking up some deodorant, and this guy walks in the store, and I think that I don't know if this guy was just like an elderly guy, and he was just kind of speaking his mind, or if, there was something behind it or whatever, but he's just like, there's music playing in the store, and I don't even know what song it was. Like, if I could go back, I'd remember what song it was, but it was just like a regular pop song, radio. It was like 92 Pro FM. Yep. And the guy walks in, and he just says, as loud as can be, do you believe that they let people sing like this? Just sing. He goes, they're terrible. They're terrible singers.
Whatever's the radio song?
Yeah, so it just caught me, and I started laughing while I was looking at deodorant, and the guy walks down my aisle, and I'm like, oh shit, because he heard me laughing, and he goes, do you believe it? And I go, yeah, I know, I can't believe it. And he just kept going, and then that was it. He just kept talking, other things just out loud, just doing whatever he did. The other strange thing was he came in with a basket, little...
Was this an employee or just a customer?
Oh, no, this is a customer.
Okay.
He came in with one of those baskets, if you go to the supermarket, you don't want a cart, you have, the basket.
Yeah.
So he had one, which is not out of the ordinary, because CVS has those, except it was a Target one.
Oh, so he stole it from Target.
So he stole that from Target. So, and then I leave CVS, and I'm like, I'm going to go get something to eat from Dunkin' Donuts, get a coffee and get a breakfast sandwich. And I pull up to the drive-thru, and they forgot to shut off the thing to talk to me at the drive-thru, and one of the ladies comes on and goes, yeah, so we got enough tickets for us and 10 other people to get into the Foxy Lady for free. And so for those of you who don't know, the Foxy Lady is a very prominent strip club in Providence.
Very popular.
And so it was hilarious. And so I was I spoke back into the thing. I'm like, does that include me as well? And the lady was stops for a second, and then you could hear laughing, and then she goes, yeah, if you want to come, come on. I was like, all right.
So you're going to the Foxy Lady with Dunkin' Donuts in place?
Yes, okay. Yeah, that's where I'm at in my life right now. So.
It's like stage -0.
But it's just it's harmless fun, and just people are just having a good time, on their own terms, not hurting anybody.
No.
It's that kind of stuff. It really it doesn't put faith in society, but it lets me
cheers you up a little bit.
It's like my totem, like an Inception totem. They let me know that everything's okay in the world.
You need those once in a while.
You see all this shit on the news and everything that's happening today and shit, and you just that type of stuff just brings me back. It's harmless things, and just hilarious
good fun
stuff. So yeah.
Well, on the opposite of that.
Okay.
So.
Oh, is this terrible?
It's pretty bad.
Oh god.
So, yesterday I had softball yesterday which is why we're podcasting a day later than normal, and Holly's dad, the bee shop actually had bee delivery, so she was working at the bee shop until 9:30. I had softball, so her friend Amy was nice enough to come and watch Bumble, my dog, after work. Mm-hmm. So from softball, I had to go home to relieve her. So I come home and I go in, and she's just standing in the kitchen, just mortified. I'm like, and Bumble's all happy to see me, and I'm like, what's going on? She's like, Bumble ate a bunny's face off. And I was like, what? She's like, he went in the field and found a bunny, and I guess she couldn't get him to drop it, and then he ran around the back of the house, and when she finally caught up to him, he was chewing its face off.
Oh.
So there's two sides to the story. There's Amy's side. We still haven't found the bunny. And there's Bumble's side, which, I don't know. I mean, I personally don't know who to believe. Bumble's side is a very, not as talkative as Amy's. But,
yeah.
I mean, who?
And granted.
Now, you know Bumble, you know Amy.
Yes.
Whose side would you take?
I'm going to take Bumble's side on this
Yeah.
one. I'm sorry, Amy, but
Although,
seems flimsy.
So, which is what I thought. And then today, the reason I was a little late, Bumble was with Holly's dad all day. He goes up into the field where Amy says the bunnies were, and he comes back with another bunny.
Oh, God.
But it stinks because they're so small. They're literally the size of my fist.
Yeah, I remember last year it was like the
So
same.
he has it in his mouth, and he's like trotting it, and he can't be holding it any looser.
Yeah.
But he kills it right away.
Yeah. Well,
So, I don't know. It's tough. You know, it's I don't know who to believe. You know, he's a sweet boy. He's a murderer. He's a murderer. I mean, so, I don't know. Yeah, things aren't going well over at 7 Arthur Street, that's for sure.
the bunnies are not doing well.
No. But the thing is, I saw a wolf last week. So if it's not Bumble, it's the wolf. It's the hawk that's always circling around.
Honestly,
the bunny, you got to pick a better spot, bunnies. I don't know what to tell you.
The hawk's going to do the most damage on any of those animals. The wolf, I don't think it would even bother with tiny little bunny rabbits like that, number one. Number two, the hawk.
It would just swallow it whole.
The hawk, as soon as it hears or sees anything, they're going to come down. Professional killing machines, hawks.
Well, I told my mom today, I talked to her on the phone, and I said, yeah, Bumble killed a bunny the other day. And I don't know if she's been holding on to this story or what, but she told me the story about this time she saw a hawk, like, dissect the bunny and leave its heart in
at Save the Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they do it all the time. They will go
just
down.
Like machines.
They'll pick a rabbit out of, like, the tall grass at Save the Bay down near the shore and just, like, tear it apart and just drop its, like, pieces of it all over the patio.
What a horrible death.
Yeah.
Rabbits, for as cute as they are, they get some pretty gruesome death.
Seagulls too, like they're not really like, land carnivores, but they go in the water and they'll go down and get clams and they'll drop them from really high up and they'll smash on the ground and they'll come down, eat the meat, and then just leave the crabs everywhere, just like dismantled.
Man. I'm not one to give seagulls credit, but that's pretty crafty.
Fucking birds, man. I think you're right. You were onto something.
Wait till they get stronger. They're going to start picking us up.
Do you know what I heard the other day? I don't know what I was listening to this. I think it was actually on the Pat McAfee podcast, which is...
I haven't heard it.
He's hilarious. But anyway, they were looking up this thing. If all the spiders in the world decided to, they could eat every human.
Good.
Like at once. Like not like eat this human then go to another human. If they all decided to attack it once, they could wipe out every human that existed. That exists.
I hope they don't.
I hope they don't decide.
I don't want to go.
I hope they don't realize how many spiders there are. You know what I mean? Like with the internet and stuff, we know how many people are around the world. Spiders, luckily, I don't think they put out a census to know how many. Like they don't know.
No.
They don't know about the big ass spiders in Australia.
South America.
So hopefully they're not communicating, because that could get bad. Speaking of getting bad, So Ja Rule, our buddy Ja Rule, who I thought was doing good.
I did too. Usually, like fine. No news is good news. Haven't heard from him. Hey, maybe he's just doing something.
He played the Barstool Party at the Super Bowl in Houston. So he has this production company called Fire Productions. It's F-Y-R-E. If that's not a red
first
flag,
warning sign.
If that's not your first warning sign.
That's the most douchebag way to spell fire in the history of the world.
Fire Productions. They wanted to put on this thing called the Fire Festival. And I'm sure that if you're listening to this, you've already heard endless things about this.
You can't really go on the internet and not see it.
No, it is honestly, and it's a gift and a curse. It's a curse for all the people that are involved. It's a gift for everybody else, because this is the type of story that, like, this is great.
This is really good stuff.
This is really good stuff.
This is cool.
So apparently, I'm just gonna go over the high points, and then we can deep down into the weeds. So Blink-182 canceled. Mm-hmm. Okay. So anyway, let's go to the top. It's supposed to be like this big. It was supposed to be like a festival,
a luxury music festival.
Okay. Yeah. In like the Bahamas, and they were supposed to get all these like social influencers, like all Instagram models and all that shit. Kendall Jenner is going, and they were getting Blink-182 and all these rappers and Migos and shit like that. So they hired this guy to plan it out, and the guy was like, "Listen, like, what you have right here and like the time frame you're giving me, we can't do it. Like, why don't we just plan for next year and like do it right next year?" And the guy who was head of Fire Productions and the guy who's doing the Fire Festival, the quote is, he goes, "Let's just do it and be legends." Now, I don't know if he was talking about be legends in like the good sense or be legends in the bad sense, but they are absolutely legends now.
Like a legend where, hey, don't do this.
Like, hey, never hire this guy to put on a music festival ever again.
And the thing is, and I read an article on it, which is a good point. It's like the whole, for me, when I think music festival or something, I would rather it be more like a Woodstock experience where, like, yeah, maybe it's like, not the best accommodations. You're staying in a shitty hotel. You're sleeping in your car. But you're seeing all these great bands and it's a cool atmosphere. Yeah. Instead of, because honestly, even if say this goes well, you're still on a beach in the Bahamas. It's 90 degrees. Yeah. And when the music's done, you're just sitting there in the sun. I mean,
why take something that already seems like it's a beast to plan and then put it on a remote island that nobody lives on? Why do that? And there was I think there was a few luxury resorts and stuff, but not near where they were. Why make it harder? For the first one, you kind of want to start. I mean, I don't know. You kind of want to start mainland, start in a big parking lot, maybe not an island. Maybe not give them FEMA tents to sleep in and call them cabanas. Maybe not do that.
Did you see how they were delivering the luggage?
No.
They had this huge U-Haul van, and they were just chucking luggage off the thing.
That's
just random people's luggage.
That's unbelievable.
There is one quote. There's an article in New York Magazine. They did it on it, and it was written by a guy who's one of the organizers, and he quit 6 weeks before it was supposed to go. He's like, I know this is gonna be shit. Yeah. He's like, I don't want to do it.
This might have been the same guy that was like, there's not enough time.
Yeah, I think it was. So this is a quote from the article. He says, on March 14th, I flew from Miami to the island of Great Exuma to get the planning started. I was excited, at least at first. Flying in, the water looked beautiful, but I was almost immediately warned not to go near it because of a rampant shark problem. That was an omen I regrettably missed. Hey, it's a beautiful beach. Do not go in there. There are so many sharks.
Nobody go in the water. Nobody go in.
But you're on an island. What are you gonna do? Just sit in the sand?
Yeah.
And then he said there was sand flies everywhere.
Stray dogs.
Yep. Oh my God, what a mess.
I picture it like the episode from Sunny when they go to Jersey Shore, but they're just needles and stray dogs. It's there's a lot of stray dogs here. Where are all the people?
Bumps having sex with each other.
Oh God.
Did you see the toast that Ja Rule gave? I put it in.
No, but you want to...
Yeah. So apparently Ja Rule was there, but he spent most of his time on a yacht. He wasn't... But you know what? Look, when you're hiring Ja Rule, is he going to be the guy rolling his sleeves up and getting all the tents set up?
I don't blame Ja Rule.
I don't either.
I don't blame Ja Rule.
I don't either. He's the name value of it.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't have Ja Rule there, I guarantee you're not selling tickets.
No.
Blink-182, I don't know if they're really attracting the luxury crowd.
Ja Rule's not, and I don't know him personally, but I feel like Ja Rule's not the type of person that he's not doing this just to get all this money in his pocket and then screw everybody. He probably legitimately wanted everybody to have this fantastic time. Yeah. He's not, and of course maybe he's his plans were bigger than what could actually happen. But you know what? Also, his production company kind of fucked him because
they did.
They could have been hey, listen, Ja, it ain't gonna happen. This shit ain't gonna happen. It's an island, first of all. It's infested by sharks and dogs.
You're on a shark and dog infested island.
Start right there. Wheels don't even touch the ground. Don't even go there. Yeah. Don't even go there.
Go.
Why?
I don't know. But he gave a toast, which is I'm gonna request to be done at my wedding. It's he said, "Cheers to living like movie stars, partying like rock stars, and fucking like porn stars." The last part, it makes me feel uncomfortable. Who's he saying this to? Is this just a group, or are there women there?
It's a little graphic, but again, he probably could have been super excited for this.
Exactly, and I think he was. And you know what? If he was smart enough to get the money up front, good for him. Mm-hmm. Mm. You can't blame the man.
There's quite a few lawsuits coming down, but luckily, I think they're only going to hit his production company. I don't think they're going to affect him personally.
No, and they really shouldn't. But they're getting sued by employees. Yeah.
Well, I think it was a domino effect now. People are suing, and now people are oh, there's money to be had from suing. There's something going wrong. Yeah. So, and also, there's a couple different ways to look at this. If you're on the island and shit's going down and it's just a horrible time, either get the fuck out of there. Or, make the best of it, I guess. Did they even have any musical performances? No. There was none. Nope. Nothing happened.
I guess Ja Rule could have put on an impromptu concert, but I don't know if people were in the...
No, they're probably not in the... Yeah, they're probably not in the mood for that. So, I don't know.
Safe to say Fire Festival 2018 is probably not happening.
Although
you never know.
It's not the craziest thing. It has a lot of notoriety now. And it's the type of thing where, now they have, people are hey, you know what? Well, maybe this year it's going to actually be awesome. And, people know it. I mean, I don't think there's a person that has Facebook or Twitter that doesn't know what Fire Festival is.
Right. And, I mean, like you said, now you have a year to learn from your mistakes. Maybe you can actually put it somewhere that's not a deserted island.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be good.
Infested by sharks, dogs, and sandflies. That'd be fantastic.
Anywhere else.
They were showing, pictures of the food, but I also heard that, that was very exaggerated, the way they were feeding them.
But, again, you're doing this in a remote island. What are you going to do? There's no electricity. There's no...
Start small. Why make it more difficult for yourself? I don't know. But anyway, so the Fire Festival isn't going well, but Average Nobodies right now is humming along at quite a pace.
It is.
It's
I think they're going well. We're really it's consistency is key. I always thought that, and we're able to stay consistent with the blog and the podcast, not just this one, but the Make Movies Great Again.
Yep.
I saw the Make Movies Great Again Twitter getting some solid votes.
We put up so yesterday the Marvel's The Defenders trailer dropped, and I just I'll throw up because it was perfect. There's 4 Defenders. When you put a poll on Twitter, you can put 4 options. It's like, who's your favorite Defender? Hashtag Defender. It got almost 1,000 votes, which is crazy because I think the most we've ever done on like an Average Nobody's poll, or I did another one on Make Movies Great too, maybe 20 votes.
Yeah.
And then I put another one out today for Star Wars. I was like, who would you like to see there be a spin-off movie of? And so I put that there, and we got I think almost 100 now. But so
it's cool. It's cool to interact. And,
it was really cool. So we don't have a lot of followers on that account. So if you want to follow us there, it's at Make Movies Great. But we 1,000. We only have 50 followers when you get 1,000 votes, and it got spread pretty well. It's kind of cool. There's like a cool little niche of like movie podcasts out there. They're very supportive. That's a lot came out and followed us. We followed them back. They talk to us a lot. There's a lot of interaction between podcasts, and it's cool too because they're all different. One podcast is like the Overrated Movie Podcast, and they talk about overrated movies. Another one is the Stale Popcorn Podcast, and they talk about old movies. There's another one that's there's amount of movie podcasts, but there's one for like everybody and every kind
of type of.
So cool. So yeah, it's been great getting back into the podcasting and doing both podcasts and the blogs, and we're still looking for writers. We always are accepting writers. So if you know anybody or if you want to write for us, for anything,
topic.
If you have a topic that you're passionate about, we will like you to write for it. We don't
give you
care
the platform.
What it is. Yeah, we'll give you the platform to write for it. So
almost 2,000 followers on the blog.
Yeah, we have over 1,000 on Twitter.
Yep.
We have a bunch of the loyal YouTube watchers. So viewers.
I mean, it's a good platform because we take care of everything as far as the site itself, and you're already just exposed to all these different people on different social mediums. So
so just to give you guys a layout of where we're at. So we're on Twitter at Average Nobodies. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/The Average Nobodies. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/Average Nobodies. Make Movies Great is our handle for Make Movies Great Again on Twitter. And we're on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. So if you have
Stitcher is a really cool app. I downloaded it after last week's podcast.
It is really
I really
cool.
like it. It's really simple, really cool layout, really easy to, you get your favorites of what podcast you'd like to listen to, and I like it a lot.
So even if you have an iOS device and you don't really like the podcast app because it blows, honestly, you can download Stitcher Radio. It's free. Just search Average Nobodies and both of our podcasts will pop up, and you can subscribe to both of them on either iTunes or you can do it on Stitcher, favorite it, and you can listen to it there. Mondays we do Make Movies Great. It usually comes out late Monday, early Tuesday. Same thing with Average Nobody's podcast. We usually do it on Wednesdays. It comes out early Thursdays, but today it's a day late. But we're still up. We're here. We're grinding. And coming up in a couple of weeks, we're going to be doing our first Drinking With Class since we stopped doing Drinking With Class, which is exciting. And actually filming Adam's scene next weekend.
Awesome.
So we'll be done with that, and then we're cooking. We want to get out into breweries in Rhode Island. So if you know anybody that owns a brewery, works at a brewery, wants to be promoted on our YouTube, give us a shout out on Twitter or whatever, and we want to get out there.
Yeah, I mean, we just formatted the email to send out, which I'm going to do Monday. I think that'd be, we're getting into mid-May now. And it's, like Matt said, if you work at a brewery, know someone who works at a brewery, all we're trying to do is go in and interview, if the brewmaster's available, ideally, but if not, just a staff member about the brewing process, maybe about their favorite beer. And then it's really free publicity. We're going to put you on our YouTube channel with the Drinking With Class. I'm going to pick one of the beers for the beer of the week, do a creative open with it, and then, maybe I'll just ask a couple questions to whoever we interview, like what beers they like to pair food with, what beers they would pair this movie with, things like that. And then also talk about the brewery itself, because a lot of local breweries are doing things to draw attention to themselves outside of the actual making of the beer. They'll do cookouts and they'll have cornhole and stuff outside. So spreading the word for them as a Rhode Island brewery, 2 local Rhode Islanders, it goes hand in hand, and I think it'd be really cool. So I'm excited to get that email out and and get rolling with that.
It's really
gonna
cool
be really good.
what's happening in Rhode Island with microbreweries.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to showcase that. So yeah, it's going to be Drink With Class coming back on our YouTube page. It'll be on our blog as well, AverageNobodies.com. There's some other exciting information in the news today.
This came out today.
So I think they honestly did this. They kind of put it out.
Which they're marketing geniuses.
Yeah, because right about now we should be, watching episode 3 this weekend.
Like hip deep.
Yeah, in Game of Thrones, which we are not because it got delayed.
Till July.
Yeah. But
I kind of like it now because what do you watch from June to August? Nothing's on. Nothing. Like all your shows are over.
It's a good move.
But now, like on Sundays, you got Silicon Valley. Like I watch The Leftovers.
Silicon Valley's been so good.
Oh my god, they are the experts. I
So
don't want
funny.
to go off too far, but they are the experts at just pulling you one way and then just flipping the table.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you watched last week's, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's just they do it all the time.
Good.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But yeah. So go ahead with the.
So to keep riding this Game of Thrones money train and popularity train, they're planning 4 spin-off shows. Did they say what the 4 spin-off shows are?
No, they just said 4. They had 4 possible ones in mind, which I think was made to now. Like one of the top trending hashtag on Twitter is like Game of Thrones spin-off, and everyone's given their. Yeah. So I mean, I think they did it on purpose, not to release which one
I would think they're probably doing a Targaryen one.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's kind of the one you don't, unless you read the books, you don't really know too much about. They only drop little hints here and there.
I'm assuming they do one about the King Beyond the Wall.
Yep. The Targaryen was the Mad King, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know. I mean, but we have a few suggestions. So, Ryan,
I came up with a couple today. One which I think would be really interesting, and one's a little demented. But so the first one, I don't have a title for it, but I think it would be cool to. I don't know how long you could run this for, but Hodor is a White Walker. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, his story for now could be done. I mean, maybe they even do it in the last 15 episodes, but I would kind of like to see that story keep going. You know, it would be more of a sequel type thing. You know, you wouldn't really need much backstory because you already know most of his backstory now. Yeah. But you get him as a White Walker and how, I mean, I guess there'd be no dialogue in the show. They don't speak. But, you know, just them terrorizing. That seems like more of an episode
Even if
than
he
an
did
actual
speak,
show.
I don't think he would.
He only says one word.
Yeah, he only says one word.
But my other one, which I think has a lot of promise, I mean, I know Schwartz would probably be interested in something like this, 50 Shades of Frey. And it's Walder Frey and all his daughters.
Oh, God. I didn't even go with that route. That's
who he is. I didn't create the character.
That makes sense, but when I said that, I just thought it was funny. I didn't even, really... Oh, my God.
Like you said, with the niche market, I mean, I think there's some people out there. I never want to meet them, but I think that could really appeal to a certain part of the population. Maybe the guy who was talking to himself in CVS would watch it. I don't know.
Oh, God, maybe. I was thinking, maybe you could do, a banking show. Like a reality banking show and star the Lannisters. Like the Lannisters, they always pay their debts.
And it's just them continually going in and being like, told you.
We did it.
Told you. Second Friday of the month, I'd be here. I think that'd be a good one. So I'm excited. I mean, hopefully they stay true to it. Because, and I was talking to Holly about this, and she's like, oh, I wish they would just let it be. And it's too, you can't.
I understand that, but also I know the second the series finale ends next season, or the season after, I'm gonna immediately want more Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is. That's the way it is with any show that I ever watch.
That's
Breaking
what I
Bad. I want more Breaking Bad.
And now you kind of
now I have
it.
Saul.
Yeah.
So, these prequels and spin-offs, TV shows are like what Hollywood's doing right now with sequels, because you don't get a movie that's not a sequel. No. There's barely any movies that aren't a sequel or gonna be a sequel. So. It just makes sense. People are gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
As long as you keep the writing team intact and stuff like that.
You have to.
Yeah.
You totally. Especially with a show like this, you have to. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for it. I think there's some good stuff. So let's roll this right into what we're watching, because I think this is gonna take up a significant. This week I've watched a ton of stuff. So I'm very excited about it. Do you want to talk about 2 movies we actually watched together? Yep. Well, not together, but we both watched.
Yeah.
So the Split and the Discovery. So we'll start with Split. What do you think? What do you think your first reaction to Split was?
I thought it was my first reaction is James McAvoy is amazing.
A genius, crazy, so good.
Played. I mean, he had I think 29 different personalities in the movie. You saw 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah.
And it was just a really, really well done. I mean, he's just seamless moving from personality to personality, and was pretty much stayed creepy throughout each role. I mean, there was one that was more of like a concerning, like really stern.
Dennis.
Yeah. He was kind of like him and the lady were the mastermind of it.
Yeah. Patricia.
And then the twist, I mean, I definitely didn't see it coming technically.
So just so you guys, this will be a spoiler.
Yeah.
So what? So now I'm curious because when people are telling me like I want to know what was the twist to you.
So the twist to me was that he actually had this like supernatural ability inside him.
See, now I always that wasn't the twist to me. The twist to me was that it was an amalgamation of all the animals at the zoo he worked at.
Okay, yeah.
I kind of knew that, but again, I hear it from different people. A lot of people think that is like they see it as that being the twist, that he can actually
do those
he has
things.
all these physical changes.
Now, is that from like the shots he was taking and stuff, or is it more?
No,
because like he took one of his personalities had like diabetes or whatever. So I didn't know if maybe he was mixing.
That was the kind of stuff that was like kind of like putting me on to being like, okay, I think that maybe this beast he's actually a beast, because number one, she was doing all this research. The doctor was doing all the research on how each personality is a different like blood pressure, chemical makeup, everything is different. Like one has diabetes, one doesn't. Like that kind of crazy stuff. So it made me to believe that like the Beast is actually something. I thought the Beast was just some guy that was like a crazy person, not actually like had all the traits of like different animals, which was kind of wild.
It was wild.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot, and then I did like the part at the end too, which was really cool
with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
So it's going to be in the news you saw that there's going to be an Unbreakable sequel called Glass,
which I didn't know. I mean, I saw the movie a while ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was plans to do,
I had no idea there was plans for another one either. That was a total surprise to me. I'm so glad I watched it when I did, because I feel like the next day is when they started talking about, and it had been out for a while.
Right.
I just happened to watch it, and then a couple days later they were talking about.
Because you watched it a little bit right after me.
I watched it last Tuesday night, the day after Derek's thing at Ladder.
Yeah, and I watched it the Saturday before, the Friday before. So
it was cool. It was cool. It was really cool.
I really liked it. I thought it was it was one of those concepts where like I read the tagline and saw the preview, and I was interested to see how they'd pull it off. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he carried most of the movie because the other three characters were teenage girls. Mm-hmm. I don't know how old the actresses are, but they were teenage girls, and they had one emotion, which was like fright. Besides the main one, she got a little and the doctor I thought played a really good role too.
Yep, she did.
But I liked it a lot. I mean, it's one of those things that, it's not like a typical sequel or anything. It was a freshish concept.
Yeah.
It was cool, and he pulled it off. He was wonderful.
He was the reason why they pulled it off. I mean, because every character was completely different. It wasn't just a slight change. They were all very different characters. Yeah. So they sounded different. They carried themselves differently.
They dressed differently.
It was very good. Very, very good. What about Discovery?
See, now I didn't like it. I'll start with that.
For those of you, this is a Netflix original movie.
Jason Segel, Steven Seagal's brother.
Rooney Mara.
Yeah. But I didn't like it, but I'm also not really giving it its due because I watched it over three different viewings. Okay. So I watched the first 25 minutes or so, and then we went somewhere. And then I watched like an hour of it, and we went somewhere, and then I finished it. And this was over like 3 different days.
Okay.
So I might have a different take on it if I watch it all the way through. With that said, I didn't like Jason Segel in that role. I don't think he should be doing things like that.
No.
I'm not saying he needs to stick to comedies, but that was a little too heavy.
He was too like mopey. Like he just like kind of like was like, I don't know, like
shucks.
Like, I don't know, it was strange. Like there was really he didn't have any like, I don't know, there was no like, there wasn't anything to his character. It was very vanilla.
It was which kind of took me out of it.
Yeah, he was just sad, and I don't know, like. And
you know what I think is my favorite? I don't want it to sound demented if you've seen the movie, but my favorite scene, I think the best scene, was the opening scene.
Oh,
when they're doing the interview.
Oh yes.
So now you're going there, and then it kind of went downhill a little bit for me from there. So it started like that. And I'm like, all right, now we're into it, and then after that there was very little action.
Yeah,
which is fine.
It was very slow, but I'm a big fan of dialogue movies too. Like, but it made you think like how a time travel movie makes you think, which I like that kind of stuff. But it kind of was. there wasn't a point where it was just, and we talked a lot about this on Make Movies Great. We did a whole, because it was part of our movie club of the week. We talked about it, but there wasn't any big reveal of like, this is what so the movie was about. They discovered there's some kind of afterlife. So it's not like, oh shit, here's the afterlife. It was like, here it is, and then they dissect it, and they're like, then you find, but you could have guessed right from the beginning what that actually was.
Yeah.
But they took too long to get to the point where, like, okay, well, I'm already there. Like, just
I've been there.
Help me along the way. Like,
Yeah.
just to make this quicker. The other thing was, there wasn't big payoffs with anything. Like, there wasn't, like, I don't know, like, I feel like she came to live at that place way too quick. Like, just very willingly after she tried to kill herself.
And then he just started really caring about her. Also, kind of quick. Nah, I mean,
Yeah.
I know you're confined. It's a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna
Yeah,
spend
yeah.
an hour and a half
No,
getting to
sure,
know each
sure.
other. But everything seems so quick. And again, his mopiness, it never turned into something more serious. You know, and I don't know if that's the way he wanted to play it or what. But
Another thing that kind of soured me on it from the beginning was, and overall, I thought it was a cool concept. But I didn't think it was going to be this type of movie. I didn't know it was going to be like a Looper type, like, you know, Back to the Future type movie. I thought it was going to be like the social situation of like thousands and thousands and millions of people killing themselves. Like me and Sean talked about it. Like, we thought it was going to be more like, what about all these people that have shitty jobs and have shitty lives that want to just end it? And like, what happens when everybody that picks up trash like kills themselves? Like, there's trash everywhere, like that kind of stuff. Like, that was the kind of stuff that I was looking for. Like, I was looking for
how it affects the social concept.
What's the implications of people that like could easily just kill themselves if they start killing themselves, and like what type of social structures start breaking down because of that.
Yeah.
So it was different than what I thought, and it wasn't bad, but it was different than what I thought, and I thought that the acting wasn't great. Rooney Mara was good. I think she's just one of those actresses who, I think she's like serviceable in any role she gets put in. She's not like over the top great, but she was fine. Robert Redford was really good. He's a crazy person.
Yeah.
He's 80 years old.
Is he really?
Yeah. Does he look 80 years old in that movie?
He's looked the same age for the last 25 years.
That's also true.
Which throws me off. And he does his hair that stays red.
Yeah. It's so.
But when your last name is Redford, I mean.
And, yes. And what's Todd from Breaking Bad? What's his name? And from Fargo. He was kind of good too. I actually like him. I like him as an actor.
He's a really good actor.
So I just liked his like. He has good mannerisms. He has good like. I don't know. He's like
Jesse Plemons.
He has like this very like unassuming but very confident way about him.
And he was a little bit of the comic relief too. He's a little kind of silly, stupid.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
the way Jason Segel played it, because he was in. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Jeff Who Lives at Home.
that sounds really familiar.
It's him and Ed Helms, our brothers. And it's written and directed by Pete from The League and his brother, Mark and Jay Duplass.
Oh, yeah.
So he plays that kind of mopiness in that movie, but it works because it's like a dark comedy.
Okay.
He literally played the exact same role, but this subject matter and
yeah.
it was way too heavy. And I loved him in that Jeff Who Lives at Home. He was really good in it. But he seems like he had took that character and dropped it into that universe of the Discovery, and it just didn't work for me.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I have to see this now.
I would definitely watch that.
I actually like Duplass brothers.
I think they really write really well.
Yeah,
they really do. It was really good. But yeah, I mean it was all right. I'm actually interested in your third one there.
Okay, so where is we here? American Gods. Oh man, so
I mean it looks amazing. What a cast.
American Gods. My hat is off to you. Not because of anything in the show. I'll get to that.
Only been one episode, right?
Yeah, only one episode. Comes on Sundays on Stars. But my hat is off to you guys because you do excellent marketing. And by excellent, I mean you literally drowned me in advertisements for the show until I had to watch it. And that's exactly, I guess, what you want to do.
Yeah.
There's this, in marketing, they call this thing, it's like the law of seven, or something of seven. And it's like marketers, people who put out ads, they want ideally it to hit consumers' eyes at least 7 times, because 7 is like, for whatever reason, the studies have shown that 7 is the amount of time that they make a purchase. They do something that you want them to do. So, but I don't know how many times it's hit my eyes, but on Instagram I've gotten like 20 ads like in the last week.
It's a lot of places.
So, and it wasn't like spammy ads either. I think I would have really enjoyed the show anyway. It's crazy. It's really good.
Huh?
So,
One episode, 2 episodes?
One episode. So it's coming out. The second episode will be this Sunday. I watch it on Stars now or whatever. There, my mom subscribes to it.
I'll watch it on Super Chillin'.
Yeah, it's really cool. The characters' names are great. Like the main character's name is Shadow Moon. Like his first name's Shadow, his last name's Moon.
It's like a superhero.
Yeah, it's like about. It's hard to describe. It's very fantasy. There's different gods that, and you haven't met a lot of them yet. But if you look in the ads, they show them. It's like the god of love, the con man, who's just like this Ian McShane. He has like, you can tell he has supernatural power. I love him. He's awesome. Such a good actor. He has like supernatural powers, but you don't know what they are. But he's just like he's like a shyster. He's a con man. So then there's like the leprechaun, and it's the guy from. Did you watch Orange Is the New Black? Mm-hmm. The asshole guard, the tall guy.
Oh yeah, Pablo Schreiber.
Yes.
He's in The Wire.
He's the leprechaun. Mad Sweeney, he's called. And
he's
like,
really good.
And he's just obviously he's a tall guy with a red beard, and he goes around. And he can pull gold coins out of the thin air, and he's really cool. Then like Orlando Jones is in it. You haven't seen him yet, but he's the god of trickery. And then there's like the guy who I always forget his name. He's from Back to the Future and Willard, and you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
what the hell's his name?
Crispin
Glover.
Yes, Crispin Glover is in it. Kristen Chenoweth is in it. She's the god of spring, or goddess of spring.
I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, the goddess of spring. It's crazy, and there's a lot of like mind fuck things. And you're like, or like when the episode ended, I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like that's what. But it was
that's good. I like that.
But it was good, and it's totally different. And for the main focus guy to be on this kind of like unknown. I don't really know who the main character, who Shadow Moon is. Let me look it up right now.
Ricky Whittle?
That's his name. Has he been in anything else?
I'll have to look at him.
But anyway, he's like pretty much unknown. He's good so far, one episode in. But Ian McShane is kind of like the focus from what I'm seeing. He works for Ian McShane now. And he's so good.
Yeah,
so,
nothing I'd recognize him in.
So yeah, I highly suggest to watch it.
I'll have to check it out.
I think this is gonna be one of those shows that it's gonna be like a Game of Thrones.
Sucks in.
It's gonna be good.
It's cool that it's on Stars too, so they can risk a little bit.
Yeah. I mean that they actually, my mom watches. The reason why she has the subscription is because she watches The White Princess.
Well,
Is that what it's called? What?
She got a porn subscription?
What are you talking about? the White Princess.
Told you, 50 Shades of Frey. Right up his alley.
It has Catelyn Stark is in it.
Oh, okay.
And it's basically just like a medieval. It's basically Game of Thrones.
It's the only role she
Stars.
play.
So it's Game of Thrones on Stars. So
nice.
But my mom likes it, and so now I'm watching it. American Gods.
Nice.
Crazy. So I just want to say one other thing. Becoming Bond, that documentary that I think I told the podcast about, but I saw it South by Southwest. It's about George Lazenby, the first Bond who was only one Bond, and that was it. He quit. Documentary is fantastic. It's done in the same style of Drunk History. It's going to be on. It's a Hulu documentary, which I didn't know. I don't know if they bought it afterwards or whatever, but it's going to be on Hulu soon in like a month. And also, if you live in Rhode Island or in the surrounding area, it's coming to Newport next Tuesday.
That's really cool.
May 9th? Tuesday. And they're doing, like, beforehand, they're doing a James Bond, like, theme party. So they tell you, like, James Bond, like, clothing is acceptable.
That's
awesome. So, like, basically tuxedos. They're doing, like, it's a martini bar and past hors d'oeuvres. And then you get at Rosecliff Mansion in Newport.
Wow.
So I bought 2 tickets. So, yeah, so it's going to be awesome. And the director's going to be there, and they're going to Skype in George Lazenby. He lives in Australia, so.
Good for him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I can't say enough good things about it.
I'll have to check it out. I really wanted to go on Tuesday. I'll have to see if I can.
So, I mean, it's going to be on Hulu soon. You gotta watch it. I know especially like you will really enjoy it. It's really well done. And speaking of your one of your choices, Nick Johnson is in it.
Is he?
Yeah. He plays. I don't want to give it away. He plays a hilarious role. He knows the director and Josh Greenbaum. They know each other somehow, and because I think Josh Greenbaum has like written for TV sitcoms or something before he directed this, and they know each other and they're friends. So Nick read the script, and after you see it, you'll get it. But he read the script, and he's like, "Listen, I want to play this character, and this is all I want to play." But you'll understand why. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
I did, and because you saw Win It All at South by Southwest.
Yes.
I really, really liked it. I mean, I was telling you, really, Jake Johnson at this point could be like in a video screaming at my grandma for 2 hours, and I'd be like, you know what? He's nailed the role.
You know what?
He's so likable.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna. I mean, it's up to him, obviously, but I think he's on his way to being like the next Chris Pratt.
It doesn't seem like he wants to be, though.
He definitely doesn't.
I'm not saying that in a bad way. He does these really good low-budget indie movies. Win It All, and before that, Drinking Buddies, which we both seen, right?
Yep.
Great. That's a great movie.
Because, I mean, he's still in his 30s, in his late 30s. So, but I Win It All, I really liked it. It's a cool concept, and you knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, I won't give anything away. You knew what was going to happen when this guy approaches him. But the way he did it, I thought was really cool, and he's really enjoyable to watch. And it was cool to see him in a starring role.
How about, he has a little bit of a gambling problem, we'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
And how when he's playing poker and it shows how much money he has, and then as he loses it, it pops up on the screen how much he's lost or how much he's up. The audience at South by Southwest, when it popped up that he lost a ton of money, people were like, "Oh!"
Holly's
they
I
were
watched with her. Holly goes, "Oh no!"
Yeah. People were
It was
audibly,
just yeah. They really structured it really well. I thought I loved it. I loved his friend who reminded me a little bit of Mitch, the guy at the end.
Yeah.
Who goes to the game with them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Totally. I thought it was really, really good. Definitely worth the watch. It's called Win It All.
It's not going to be in theaters. It's not going to be in theaters.
On Netflix.
But yeah, you'll be able to. These type of movies, you have to give a chance to.
You do.
It sucks because they're so great, and luckily Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime, they're making movies like this.
Yeah.
Look at Amazon Prime. Manchester by the Sea. It's this huge success, nominated for an Oscar, won an Oscar. So won at least one Oscar.
Won a couple, yeah. I mean, it won Best Actor and I think Best Screenplay,
so
too.
Luckily, there's going to be a lot more movies like this. But even so, there's a lot of small movies that aren't going to make it to the Oscars that are just going to be on streaming services. Watch it. Take a chance on something different.
Seriously. So. And, I mean, the way I watched it is because, one, you recommended it. But, two, I really like Jake Johnson. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. And it was well worth it. It's like an hour and 25 minutes or something. But it's really good. It's really, really cool. And like you said, you got to give those movies a shot. They really, you got to switch it up. I mean, cleanse your palate sometimes. Watch those type of movies.
Totally agree. And you got one other thing you're watching?
Yeah, and Better Call Saul is still going strong. Gustavo is fully back. Cool now because
I gotta catch up.
I like it. I definitely like it. But it's gonna come to a point where because now they're trying to explore the Gus Fring a little bit.
Yeah.
So they're getting away from Jimmy McGill, who is Saul Goodman's real name. So they're balancing a couple different stories. They do it really well, but it is kind of cool to see, what's going on in Gus's head because, I mean, you don't really get much. You get a little bit of his backstory, but not too much in Breaking Bad. At least, and you get his backstory, but you don't really get the way he thinks, as much as I wanted to when you first had him because he was such a great villain, I guess. He definitely was a villain, but Walter White was a villain. I mean. But it's really good. It's just so well acted, and Jimmy is getting closer and closer to Saul. He's reaching his breaking point. It's just the attention to detail that they pay to these little tiny effects. It's so good, which is what they did really good in Breaking Bad, and they bring a lot of callbacks and
they really just picked right up where Breaking Bad left off. Like everything that Breaking Bad did well. Better Call Saul's, and I haven't seen any of the new season, but I've all caught up until the new season.
Yeah, it's very good.
They're so good, and that's what I'm hoping that these other spin-off shows for Game of Thrones will be, and also the show that's in filming right now. I think they're day 10 or something. Filming the Mayans MC. Did you watch Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah.
So the spin-off with Sons of Anarchy. The good thing is Kurt Sutter's attached to it. He wrote it. He's directing it.
See, you need that.
You got
because it's a feel. It's like a feel. It's a look.
Yeah.
And then obviously you need good acting and blah 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 all that stuff. But if it's off right away, people are gonna know. Yeah. Because people obsess over TV shows now, and I'm one of them. But
and you hate to see a good TV show its spin-off fail.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because
imagine
it
Better Call
Saul it a little bit.
Yeah. It totally does. Imagine if Better Call Saul was not a hit.
It would suck because Breaking Bad was so good.
Yeah. Well. And I mean, there's a ton of other stuff I'm watching, but that's just like I have so much. I need to catch up on Fargo still.
I have not caught up on the new season yet.
I still want to watch Saul. My dad watches Saul religiously. Loves Better Call Saul. So he was trying to spoil it tonight at dinner for me. I'm like, don't. I'll catch up. Don't worry.
Well, the good thing is it's supposed to be a real rainy weekend. Holly's going away to a bachelorette party, so
Ooh.
I got a lot of movies and TV shows to watch this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Very nice. I think that's it for today. Again, check us out on all the social media channels we mentioned, on Stitcher, on iTunes, on Twitter. Yeah, and that's it.
We'll be back next week.
We'll be back next week. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Ryan, thank you.
Always a pleasure to come to this beautiful cave of a home.
Thank you. We'll catch you guys in the next one.